Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk today about a daily correction system. This is one of my favorite topics. This is your job. We as leaders, as PMs and supers, spend a lot of time in the trailer. We want a safety presence in the field. And so that means we do want foremen at minimum and assistant superintendents or superintendents out there just doing a killer job and making sure that they're watching in the field and helping people to be successful. But sometimes we have to be in the office. We do want to make sure and check that things are going well out there on the project site. So when I say things, let me just go ahead and define that. That means general safety, logistics, schedule. That means quality. There's all of these human beings. There might be a person, a foreman, a crew over here. There's a crew over here. There's a crew over here. There's a crew over here. The point for a project site is to see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group. We really want people to feel successful as a group, not just individually. What is the key? We need to communicate with all of these groups. A daily correction system is namely this. In what way do you communicate with your people? And with that communication, what things do you correct as a team because you see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group? Personally, email is not an option for this. Text is an option. It's not the best one. GroupMe is an app that I really like. And then WhatsApp is my favorite. And there's also technologies like there's a company called FieldWire. There are all kinds of startup companies now that are improving communication in the field. If you have your trade partners, I will have a WhatsApp chat for my trade partners. And if I have a laborer, a carpenter, or a group of people that work for the GC, I will have, I'll call it my internal WhatsApp chat. At least once or twice a day, we should be finding anywhere from 10 to 15 items to communicate. So let me simulate a little bit of a job walk here for you. So if I'm in the office, just got done doing a meeting or a schedule, and I'm like, I need to get outside, put my hard hat on, my shoulders, I'm going to go out there and love me up some people and connect with some foremen, make sure they got what they need. So I walk outside, and the first thing is I look out over the overall site. I get a feel for it. How are things going? Does it look stable, right? If I see anything, I'll immediately say something. There's porta potties over here. I'll probably walk over there and check the cleanliness of the porta potties in the lunch area first and foremost, because I know however this is going is how this is going. If there's any problem, let's say there's a messed up porta potty over there, I might send in this text chat and a message over here to the foreman, hey, why don't we call in a service? Or if I don't have these folks, I'd call them myself right then and there. I'm walking around, coming into the entryway, and I see that there's a pile of trash and banana peels. It happens even on the cleanest jobs. I'm like, hey, we need to get that done. If it's enough to where I can fit it all in my left hand, I'll pick it up myself. If it's more than it would take me 2 or 3 minutes to do, or more than I can fit in my hands with my gloves and throw away, then I'll snap a picture of it with my internal chat, and I would say, hey, carpenters or laborers, can we go ahead and do this entryway at least by 2 o'clock today, because I want it to look nice and sets the example for the rest of the job. And then I walk over and I'm like, oh, the steps are damaged. The steps to the entryway, because it's over 18 inches, I need those steps repaired. If it's an emergency where somebody's going to get hurt, I just stay there and fix it. But if it's something where, yeah, they're okay, but by about 2 or 3 days from now, it's not going to be great, I take a picture of it on WhatsApp on my internal, and I say to the carpenters, hey, can we get one of these built and installed by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.? It's safe for right now, but it's not going to be for long. And I go in here and I see somebody on a scaffolding, on a baker scaffold or a rolling scaffold, and I see that they're at a 4-to-1. That means they're 4 times as high as their base is. And the rule for my company is 2-to-1. They need to pull their outriggers out. I would go gently talk to the people. I'd be like, hey, did you know about this? Right? If it was negligence and I've had this conversation 3 or 4 times, maybe I would ask them to go home and be safe and get the right training and return the next day. But if it was like, hey, this is a conversation, I'm educating them, I'd have that conversation. Then I would take a picture and I would send that out of my trade partner chat. And I would take a picture and I'd say, hey, FYI, foreman, we need to pull the outriggers out. I found this one. This is just a general message for everybody. I want this at a 2-to-1 instead of a 4-to-1. I would send that message out. Then I go over here and I'm walking around and I see that the framer's got a huge pile and part of it's blocking the entryway. If it's not immediately going to hurt somebody, if I got to stay there and just wait for them, fine. But if it's like, okay, this is about to get out of hand, I'll send that in the trade partner app and I would say, hey, framer, I appreciate all the work you're doing. Level 1, area A, in room number such and such. We got a big pile. It's about to get in the way of the stairs in the entryway. I'd like somebody to clean that up within the hour. Can you confirm? Now, somebody would say, if it's just for one trade partner, why are you doing that in a text that has multiple trades? Well, if somebody else sees that I'm having that interaction with the framer, they'll think, oh, wow, this is an expectation for me, and they can start to get ahead of it. So this, again, goes to see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group. How can we see as a group if we're not teaching each other what we see? There was a foreman that was like, Jason, I'm starting to get you now. You want us to see things like you do. And I was like, wow, Joe, thank you. That's an insightful comment. And he was right. I wanted him to see cleanliness and safety and organization like I did. That pointed me to the fact that I don't worry if I'm talking to one person, because the other 3 trades or 4 or 5 or 100 see what I'm seeing and they start to get acclimated to my standards. And it's important because it's a job that I'm supervising. So I go to a different area and I see that this area has been demobilized for some time. We got 2 or 3 pallets. There's a trade partner there. I'll send that in the trade partner chat and I'll be like, hey, can we get this done by 10 a.m. tomorrow? Every day, 10 to 15 things. Now, somebody would be like, well, if it's not a Procore, it's not logged. I don't care. I'm going to walk it tomorrow. I'm never going to go back to that list and sign it off. Now, if your company's like, I want these documented, I want proof for OSHA that we're doing it, some of these things I want them to be able to send to the office, fine. Use the Procore type systems. But I'm saying that in addition to the Procore type systems that take a while to enter because they're not yet developed the way they should be, I want 10 to 15 items through this quick communication system every day. And if the superintendent will be tenacious about this, this will work. Now, somebody would say, will they stop looking at text? Will they actually look at their notifications? Well, for the first 2 weeks, you're going to have to solve those problems. But once they're like, no, Jason or whoever the super is, he or she, hey, they expect this. I'd better look at this while I'm on the job. You can get them into a habit and you run a remarkable job. Every job enters a state of what's called entropy. That means the job starts to decay and descend into a mode of chaos. And we have to prevent that by always counteracting that by making improvement. And our improvements have to outpace or go faster than the natural decay of the job. What I'm asking everybody to do is to get a really good communication system where we can correct issues every day. Every project has problems. Every project has issues. You will not find a project that doesn't at least need 10 to 15 things a day corrected. Get the right app for you and your trades. Get yourself an internal and a trade partner chat. Do these walks once or twice a day or 3 times a day. And the next day when you see it and it's not done, you can get a little bit annoyed. Don't treat the trade partner badly by yelling or throwing your hard hat, but you can be a little bit annoyed and be like, okay, I'm going to send one more picture. If not, we're going to shut down the crew. Like, I need these things done when I send them, please. It's a part of you doing your job and I'm helping you by sending these messages. And then the next day you're like, okay, foreman, let's come down here and talk to me. Let's get it done. And then the next time they're like, okay, I'll get that done. And then after a while, people just start responding to the messages if you have a confident but respectful exterior. So challenge is, get yourself a daily correction system. I hope this helps. On we go.